What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another edition of On the Road to Victory. I am your host, Jimmy Smith, and I hope you're all having yourselves a great Tuesday. Just got done talking to some of you live about Nakobe Dean's 21-day practice window being activated. Go check that bad boy out. But we've got ourselves a new opponent. That's right, we're behind enemy lines. Getting ready for week 6, the Eagles' opponent, the New York Jets. We're going to break it all down, looking at the moves they made this offseason, their division standings, stats and rankings for this season, their practice squad coaches, their roster, the depth chart, everything you need to know to keep you up to date with not only the Eagles, but their opponent each and every week. So I appreciate you all tuning in. This is not a live video, but I would love to hear your thoughts on this. And look, there's a lot of information here. So whatever's on your mind, let's effing go, baby. But again, appreciate you tuning in, hitting that like button, subscribing. But let's get this bad boy started. Behind enemy lines, week 6, New York Jets. And we're going to start it off with the all-season roster moves. And this is an intriguing topic for the New York Jets because, well, they won out, added some pieces. And look, they're trying to make their, Super Bowl run here. They've got a lot of pieces. They felt adding a quarterback and some other things around him would take them all the way. So, in the draft, they got some good pieces on the line, begins in the trenches. Joe Douglas learned that here in Philadelphia, but you got some other good pieces there as well. And, they lost some guys, not so much, anything on defense. You lost Sheldon Rankins, but on offense, you lost some receivers, you lost a couple of guards, you lost a backup quarterback. So that is important here. Now, looking at the additions, you clearly added Aaron Rodgers. That was supposed to be, Mr. Horsepace was going to bring him, the trophy, but he didn't even last a drive. So it is what it is, man. Hope, we figure something out with not being able to go to doctors and that being not real for him or whatever. So best of luck, dude. But you got Dalvin Cook here, Allen Lazard, Cobb, Hardman, all these guys added to come play with A-Rod. And, well, now he's not playing. On the defensive side of the ball, they added a couple of pieces, and well, we'll talk about them throughout the show here, but you can see that they were busy this offseason and, again, trying to build something special here, but injuries, man, you hate to see them, no matter who it is or what team. I hate to see that. So that sucks, and I hope the best for him. As much as I want to laugh at him, I'm just making fun of him because he, obviously was making fun of Travis Kelce. So old Roganite there, just taking some jabs. But clearly, man, tough going for A-Rod. Hopefully he gets things figured out there. Now, looking at this team, they had hopes, right? But tough division. So the Dolphins right now at 4-1, and we've got them next week. But you see the Bills here. We'll take them on later this season at 3-2. The Jets currently at 2-3. And then, of course, the Patriots, who we beat at 1-4. So a very tough division to be in, which is funny because it used to be Tom Brady at the top, just, and these other 3 teams sucked, and he just got 2 free wins, from each team each year. So funny how that goes, but Bill Belichick really he's feeling it, man. Those hurt pieces getting put on, but the Jets in front of them doing what they can to move up their division. And look, losing Aaron Rodgers and having to replace him with Zach Wilson, clearly, that's a big difference there. So the offense has been feeling it, and, he got hurt on the first drive there. So this has been predominantly Zach Wilson here. But you can see they're 24th in points, 27th in total yardage, but 32nd in passing, 11th in rushing. So the only thing that they're in the top half of the league in is in rushing. And look, they're giving up 3 sacks per game, 1 interception per game, 1.6 total turnovers there per game. So not so great for the offense. This Eagles defense needs to go out and pounce on them, and we will be breaking that down throughout the week in the top matchups and everything else. So looking forward to that. But then you see on the defensive side of the ball, not your typical Jets, 14th in points. They've got 22nd in yardage here and 14th against the pass, 29th against the run, getting 2.2 sacks per game. And look, one category they're good in is turnovers. So they're getting 1 interception per game, 0.8 fumble recoveries per game, and then 1.8 total turnovers. So they are able to get the ball. They've got some playmakers you're about to see here. They are a very talented defense. So you got to take all this with a grain of salt. They face some good offenses here. But look, this team, it's got to figure things out, and I think they will do their best to do so. But going against Philadelphia Eagles, that might prove to be a challenge for them. But let's take a look at this team, 2-3, what they're able to do here so far this season, how they've been able to do it. So what I'll do is we'll take a gander here at the coaches first, and then I'll go through each position. You'll see who's on the practice squad, IR, and then you'll see the full list at the end. I'll explain it as we go here, but let's look at the coaching staff here. Robert Saleh, the guy coming from San Fran with that badass defense, and brings Nathaniel Hackett here as the offensive coordinator. Got Ulbrich there as his DC, and then Brant Boyer as the special teams coordinator. So, I mean, you've got some intriguing pieces, added with some of these guys as coordinators. So let's take a look at those pieces that, this Jets team, man, they thought they were building something, but back to Zach Wilson. So a little bit better than most people give him credit, but he's still atrocious for where he was drafted there. And you see his backup, Tim Boyle. On IR, Aaron Rodgers, and on the practice squad here, Trevor Siemian. Now at running back, high hopes for Breece Hall. Last game he did pretty decent. Had him as one of my touchdown scorers. He got that. But Breece Hall, he and Dalvin Cook, a nice 1-2 punch there. And obviously Cook came because he thought A-Rod was going to be there. So, hey, we'll see. But, Michael Carter, he's another interesting back, but obviously getting pushed down the depth chart. And then in the draft, they added Israel Abinakanda there. On practice squad, you got Kazavian Valladay. So those are your running backs there. And look, at fullback, you got Nick Bowden. So one of those teams with a fullback, and they've been able to help, Breece Hall average that. He's got 7.2 yards per carry right now, Breece Hall. So they do have a fullback. Don't think that I left him out there. But Breece Hall, he's averaging 7.2 yards per carry, 54 carries for 387 yards. Got one touchdown here. Dalvin Cook averaging 2.7 yards per carry. So not so great there. Breece Hall's got 8 catches for 59 yards at 7.4 yards per catch. And Cook, 8 catches for 44. That's 5.5. So these guys can, help you on the ground and in the air. And with the way the Eagles' #1 rush defense has been playing, they're going to have to look to probably get their running backs the ball in their hands through the air. Now, let me let Herschel out because I don't know what is going on here. Hold on. Geez, my bad. So you got Garrett Wilson, Lazard, and Cobb came from Green Bay to obviously join Rodgers there. But Wilson leading the way, 24 catches with 279 yards, 11.6 yards per catch, 2 touchdowns. I don't know how I traded him in fantasy, but thankful that I did. But still doing all right there. You got Lazard, Cobb, so you've got some talented guys. Xavier Gipson hasn't done anything on offense, but man, is he a great returner. They added McCole Hardman, but he hasn't done anything. It was just inactive this past game. And then rookie Jason Brownlee. On the practice squad, Irvin Charles and Malik Taylor there. Then at tight ends, you've got Tyler Conklin, you got CJ Uzoma there, and then, of course, you got Jeremy Ruckert, their rookie from last year. So haven't seen much from any of these guys. Conklin, actually, their second leading receiver with 17 catches for 203 yards, 11.9 yards per catch. They'll be looking to the tight end. The linebackers have been playing well. Nakobe Dean could be back, so that would be great, but got to watch out for the tight ends there. And then the offensive line just suffered a season-ending injury. He hasn't been placed on IR just yet, but he will be. Elijah Vera Tucker, I went ahead and just put him down there. They worked somebody out today. Lyle Collins, I believe it was. So they'll be looking to help this position out, but you can see Becton, Tomlinson, McGovern, Tippmann, and then maybe Max Mitchell starting, maybe Billy Turner. We'll find out, but you've got some depth guys in Mitchell, Turner, and Schweitzer. Somebody's going to have to step it up, but we'll see how they want to move that line around, and we'll take a look at this depth chart here shortly, and you will see. Now, on to the defense. Woo, these big boys in the interior defensive line. My Lord, you've got yourself Quinnen Williams, who is a monster. So, look, this is going to be one of the top matchups for sure. This dude comes out, and he is just a beast. He's got 17 tackles, half sack, 3 tackles for a loss, 1 pass deflected. But don't be a stat watcher with him. Just watch his game and watch him wreck people. And they added Quentin Jefferson and Al Woods into the room from Seattle. Then you've got Solomon Thomas, who was added last year. On IR, you've got Bradley Anae and Afidi Odenigbo. On the practice squad, you've got Jalen Holmes, Tanzel Smart, and Marquise Spencer there. Now, edge rushers. First-round pick last year, Jermaine Johnson, big fan of his out of Florida State. And he's been having a good year. I think that he's an underrated player for sure. I mean, I'm not saying he's one of the best in the league or anything like that, but I really think he has a bright future. I like Jermaine Johnson. He's got 2 sacks, 4 tackles for a loss this season. He's doing well. And you've got John Franklin Myers, who's got 1 sack, 2 tackles for a loss. Huff, Clemens, McDonald. And then Lawson was just inactive. So looks like they're going with some of these other pieces and younger guys over the vet. I hear that they're looking to get rid of him. No, the Eagles do not want him. Now at linebacker, they've got some studs here in C.J. Mosley and Quincy Williams. And, dude, you've got 50 tackles for C.J. Mosley. That's 10 tackles per game. And then Quincy Williams is second on the team with 48. These guys are shining. Then you've got a guy like Jamian Sherwood, who a versatile piece there. One of those guys we talk about, like a Sidney Brown, where, play some safety, linebacker. This is more of a bigger guy linebacker, but versatile piece for them. You got Egwavon there, Surratt, and then Barnes. And then on the IR, you got Hampson Nazaraldine. And on the practice squad, Marcelino McCrary Ball. So a good defensive line here, followed by some good linebackers. And then the secondary, one of the best corners in the game, Sauce Gardner. Kid's a stud. Let's not lie to ourselves. And then they got DJ Reed. So one of the best duos there. And Michael Carter II is one of the best nickels in the game. So they might have the best trio now in the league, with the Eagles not having Avonte Maddox. But Roby, let's go. We'll see what he is able to do if he gets that starting role. But anyways, you see here, Sauce, DJ, Carter, they have continued to be premier. But unfortunately, DJ Reed a little bit banged up so far this season. And, having him back is obviously going to be something great for them. And, I think that when you're looking at this team, he only missed 1 game, DJ Reed, but you don't want to miss any. Michael Carter II, he's somebody that I think is very slept on in this league. And I just think that it's going to be probably the top matchup here, talking about our receivers versus these guys. But Javelin Guidry, you remember last year, he was with the Eagles for a minute on the practice squad there in the offseason. But on the practice squad, you see Taylor Barnes, Tay Hayes, and another former Eagle, Craig James, the special teamer there. So you see the cornerbacks now, the safeties, Jordan Whitehead, Tony Adams, the starters, Adrian Amos in there. Adams was banged up a couple games before the last, so Amos had stepped in, but didn't even get a snap last week. Adrian Amos, Tony Adams was right back in there. But then you've got Ashton Davis there's depth as well. Chuck Clark, who was brought in this offseason, is on IR currently. And then on the pup list, you have the rookie Jarek Bernard Converse. On the practice squad, Trey Dean and Tyreek Jones. So that is the defense. Now on to the special teams. Greg Zuerlein, former Cowboy. You suck. And then Thomas Morstead at punter. Long snapper, Thomas Hennessy. And then return specialist, guy can do it all, Xavier Gibson. That's going to be one of the top matchups too. Our special teams unit has actually been doing pretty damn well here. So I like what the Eagles been able to do, but a damn good returner coming our way this week. So look out for that top matchups video on Thursday. Going to be fun breaking that down. But I just showed you every position by position there. So now I want to show you as a list so you can get a feel for what this team actually looks like. I know that's a lot of information right there, so I always try to do this right here for you. Here is the practice squad. You got 7 players on offense, 9 on defense, and you obviously saw all of those guys at each position, but want to give you the full list of the practice squad there, and we'll see if they bring any of those offensive linemen up, sign somebody, whatever they feel the need to do. And Sauce was banged up, but he was okay to come back, but didn't last week. Then you had Mekhi Becton banged up, so we'll keep up with the injuries. Tomorrow is the initial injury report for both teams, so tune into that as well. But here are the reserves for both teams, and you will see Elijah Vera Tucker placed on their IR. Not there yet, but he will be. But they've got a lot of guys here that you obviously saw at the bottom. Anyone in black here is new to the roster this season, as it will be in the depth chart here. So if you're looking for any of these guys and you don't see them on the depth chart, it's because they are here either on the IR or PUP list. Now, here is the depth chart. And again, anyone in black is new to the roster this season. So you can see they added Lazard and Cobb. Hardman not doing anything, but Nick Bowden is not new to the squad. I'm not sure why I didn't change that to white. But anyways, you see the fullback listed to the right there. But then you've got, some of the same pieces. Joe Tippmann there, right guard, the new rookie. But we talked about this. Maybe Max Mitchell goes to right tackle. Maybe it's Billy Turner there. But hey, maybe they sign La'el Collins, and I have no idea what they want to do there. And that Connor McGovern, that is not the former Cowboys Connor McGovern. He now plays for the Bills. So this is what I have right now, but I will keep you up to date with all the injuries throughout the week, and I will bring you the depth chart so you can see what this team will actually look like on game day, and I will follow all their reporters as I already am and give you all that information. Now, on the defensive side of the ball, I've got 12 starters listed here so you can see the nickel cornerback, but they like to use a third linebacker. Don't have the five-man fronts, but Robert Saleh could throw anything at you with Ulbrich there. So a versatile defense. But you could see at the edges there, Johnson and Franklin Myers in the middle there. We talked about adding Jefferson to Quinnen Williams there. Linebackers, they've, no real changes. You got one new starter, the rest just a few depth pieces there. So you can see their defense, what the Eagles will be dealing with. But again, I will keep you up with any injuries here. And, if anything were to happen to Reed or Gardner or anything, I will let you know who's filling in where, what's going down there, So do not fear. But Brandon Eccles, he was out last game too. So again, tomorrow will be the initial injury report for both teams. I will let you know what's going down there. Now, the special teams, as you just saw, here is the kicker, new punter Thomas Morstead, Thomas Hennessy. Then you've got Xavier Gibson as the punt returner and kick returner. Hardman can back him up at both, but you've also got Cobb as a punt returner and Abenakanda, who did it in college. So that's all I've got for you, ladies and gentlemen. That was Behind Enemy Lines Week 6 with the Eagles' opponent, the New York Jets. But I would love to hear your thoughts on this. How do you see this game going? Do you see it being a pouncing by the Eagles? Do you think it's a close game because of their good defense? Who do you think is stepping it up? Maybe you got a score prediction, whatever is on your mind. Maybe you have a question. I'd love to hear it. But always appreciate you guys commenting on these bad boys, hitting the like button, subscribing, all those things you're doing to support the channel. I cannot thank you enough. But I hope you're all having yourselves a great day. Again, I'll be back tomorrow. If any kind of roster moves or anything happen, I'll be back. But if not, you'll get the initial injury report. And then Thursday, top matchups with another injury report. I'll keep you up to date with everything throughout the week. Have yourselves a great rest of your night. Stay safe out there. And as always, go Birds!